Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. Uh, on this is going to be another video that I make to where I discuss things, to where I discuss topics that deal with you purchasing your home. Because right now we're kind of at a pivotal point to where there's a lot of you guys out here. You're looking to purchase your first home. Many of you you're looking to purchase your first home before the interest rates get so high to where you're no longer able to afford a home. I mean, as many of you know, right now we are in the early part of a recession. However, the housing prices, although they've went down a little bit, they haven't went down a whole bunch. At least not in the markets that I've been looking at, which is Indiana and Alabama. So with all that being said, this video is basically going to be about homeowners insurance. Now, again, I am not a real estate agent. I am not a broker. I am not a licensed insurance agent either. I am just a normal, everyday human being that has purchased and sold a significant amount of houses. And with that being said, I just want to give you guys some advice about how to go about homeowners insurance, how to go about it. Can't even talk right. Anyways, now one thing which many people are guilty of, and I've been guilty of this before in the past, is okay, you get excited, you have the house or home of choice, you had your inspection, clearly you've been approved for whatever money you're going to have to borrow for this house, so you've been approved for a mortgage, all that's already done and out the way, you're super excited, you can't wait to close and get the keys in your hand, move in, decorate, put all your belongings in, get the couch, get all your furniture in, have that initial party to where you invite your friends, you invite your family, you might throw it down in the kitchen, you might get you some pizza, sit down, have a party, watch whatever you watch on television. You're just super excited for this house. However, you gotta have homeowners insurance. If you're taking out a mortgage, the mortgage company is gonna require you to have homeowners insurance. If you're purchasing a home and you're paying cash, do you gotta have homeowners insurance? No, you don't. Now, me personally, if I was going to buy a house, especially if I'm paying cash, you bet your ass I'm going to have some homeowners insurance. Because I think buying a home, the most expensive and most likely the biggest asset in my life, is my home. So why would I want to buy a home and not have it insured? I think that's a dumb idea. Now, some of you are probably thinking, okay, well, if I'm buying a house and I'm paying cash, if I don't have to have homeowners insurance, I'm not going to have it because that's one less expense I got to worry about. And I think that philosophy is completely stupid. Because if anything happens to your house, well, guess what? You're screwed. Unless you got super deep pockets to where you can pay for all the repairs, you can pay for all the damages, you can even potentially pay for a whole new house in the event that the house gets burnt down or it gets completely demolished in a tornado. I mean, unless you got pockets that deep, which most of you don't, I know I don't, it's going to behoove you to have homeowners insurance. Rather you're paying a mortgage or you're buying cash. And it's not good enough to have homeowners insurance. You need to have the right homeowners insurance that will offer you the right amount of protection, which is what this video is about. See, there's a lot of you that have been guilty of there's a lot of you, including myself, that have been guilty of getting the cheapest homeowners insurance. I mean, you're in a hurry to get some homeowners insurance because you just want to move on with the rest of your life. So you go to your insurance agent, hey man, what's the cheapest homeowners insurance for my house? So agent asks, your insurance agent, they'll ask you all the appropriate questions. What's the square footage? How old is the roof? How old is your electric? How old is your plumbing? Just all the basic questions. They'll ask you all the questions, and eventually they'll go out to your property in person and take pictures of the exterior. So you're thinking, okay, well, what's the cheapest insurance you got? What's the cheapest offer? What's the best deal that you got? Okay, your insurance agent will most likely tell you, okay, let's say you're buying a house for $150,000. Well, your agent might tell you, or your agent might ask you, well, how much are you looking to pay per month for insurance? Many people are going to say, I just want to pay as little as possible. So your agent will tell you, okay, well, we got policy A, which is cash value, and it will cover X amount of money in the event of vandalism and blah blah blah. But basically, what cash value means is, if your house burns down to the ground, the insurance company is not gonna build the house back up for you. What they're gonna do instead is they're gonna cut you a check. So with that being said, okay, you go in, you're gonna buy a house for $150,000. So the agent might ask you, okay, well, we have a policy to where you can get cash value for $175,000. Well, let me make one thing clear for you people. As I told you a second ago, cash value simply means if the house burns down to the ground, the insurance company cuts you a check, and that's it. Now, here's the thing about cash value which I don't like, and this is the reason why. If you're buying a house that's in decent condition, is turnkey, move-in ready, I would advise you guys to not buy a cash value insurance. I would advise you guys to buy what they call replacements value insurance, which I'll discuss in a second. But back to cash value. So basically, with cash value insurance, let's say you buy a house for $150,000, and you purchase a policy to where that policy will be good for $175,000. Now, when your insurance agent tells you that policy is good for $175,000, understand that policy is good for up to $175,000. What that means is, if your house burns down to the ground, it doesn't mean they're going to automatically cut you a check for $175,000. Because, if you sit down and you ask your insurance agent all the appropriate questions, if you look at the small print of your documents that you sign, I mean, you could be in a situation to where if your house burns down to the ground, they might decide, you know what? Let's say your house burns down to the ground, I don't know, 6 months from now, when the housing market has went down substantially. So your house that you purchased for $150,000 today might be worth $110,000 6 months to a year from now. So if your house burns down to the ground at that point, the insurance company might cut you a check for $90,000 because, okay, the house is worth $110,000 at that particular time. That's the market value. However, what the insurance company is going to do is they're going to think of every reason to not give you your full amount of money. So what they're going to do is, when they come out, they're going to go back to their files and all the pictures that they took of the house when you first got signed on with the policy. all the information that you provided them in concerns with the house, like the age of the plumbing, the age of the electric, the age of the roof, siding, windows, all that crap. They're going to look at their pictures. They're going to look at the notes that you gave them, and they're going to be like, well, okay, well, your wiring is older. Your plumbing is older. Your wiring is older. Your roof is over X amount of years old. Your siding is older. Your windows are outdated. Your porch had little cracks in it. Your house might have some minor foundation cracks due to settling. So your insurance company is going to most likely use all of those factors as an excuse to give you as little money as possible. So basically, in that type of a scenario, they might decide, hey, you know what? Yeah, your policy is good for up to $175,000. Yeah, you paid $150,000 for your home. Yeah, but you know what? You got this and that and the third one with your house. Your house right now only has a value of $110,000. You know what? We're gonna give you 90 grand. So basically, their attitude is they're gonna cut you a check for 90 grand, and then tell you to get lost. And then what you're gonna do is you're not going to accept that 90 grand, because if you do, you would be a fool. What you're gonna have to do is, which is gonna be a lot of headache, is you're going to have to go ahead and lawyer up and sue their asses and fight for the money that you truly ought to get in that type of a situation. So now, on the other hand, if you're buying a house that's a fixer-upper, 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, if an insurance company even touches you, they're going to only offer you a cash value. They're not going to offer you replacement costs. They're going to only offer you cash value. And then, of course, with a fixer-upper, once you get the house fixed up and you get stuff brought up to par, you get the electric and the plumbing or what have you brought up to the local codes of where you live, you show your documentations to the insurance company, you show some pics and everything to the insurance company, then they'll go back and they'll offer you a replacement cost insurance policy, which, yes, for a replacement insurance policy, you will pay substantially more money for a replacement policy than you will for a cash value policy. However, it's one of those type of deals where you kind of get what you pay for. A replacement value policy is going to offer you significantly better insurance compared to a cash value policy. Like with a replacement policy, what a replacement policy will do is, if your house burns down to the ground, the insurance company will hire people to come out and rebuild your home on that piece of land where you live. That way, at the end of the day, you don't have to move to a new neighborhood. You can stay right where you're at. Or whatever sections of the house may have got damaged beyond repair, they'll rebuild that section of the house for you, as opposed to just simply cutting you a check and telling you to go get lost. Now, with the replacement policy, if you purchase a house for, let's say, $150,000, 9 times out of 10, it's going to run way more than $150,000 today to build that same house. So if you purchase a house for 150 grand, house is built in, let's say, the late 50s, early 60s, to build that same house for that same kind of material today, you're gonna, it will run you it'll probably run you an extra $100,000 beyond the money that you're going to pay for that house. So when it comes to a replacement value policy, which is the reason why, here's the reason why replacement policies are more expensive. Because with the replacement value policy, what's going to happen is you're going to ask your agent, hey man, do you got a replacement value policy? I want to purchase that. I mean, now this is going to be assuming that your house is turnkey, move-in ready. It doesn't need nothing crazy done to it. It's turnkey, move-in ready. So with a replacement policy, they're going to tell you, okay, you're paying $150,000 for the house, okay, whatever. However, it's going to run you $250,000 to rebuild that same type of house using the same type of material today if it were to burn down. So when you do your cash value policy, you're gonna purchase a policy that's good for $250,000 worth of building. So with that being said, that means that the house blows down. If a house burns down, or a tornado blows it down, or something crazy like that, you're gonna have up to $250,000 available to you through your insurance to get a new home built in that same location where you was at. And even then, you want to make sure you get the right kind of policy. Like if you have a 1,700 square foot home that's made out of brick, you might even want to look into getting a policy for $300,000. That way, when they have to rebuild your house, you're going to get another brick home, 1,700 square feet, rather than them being like, okay, well, you only got X amount of money available in the budget for building, so you're not going to get another home that's 1,700 square feet. You might get another home that's 1,000 square feet. Now, unless you're okay with having less than what you had before, which me personally, I wouldn't be okay with that. I would want the same as what I had before my house burnt down. So I'm going to pay whatever I got to pay, to where if the house burnt down tomorrow, I'll have another house, same square footage, same area, similar setup, everything. So that's the importance of getting the right kind of insurance policy for your home. You don't want to just get something because it's cheap. Cheap is not always good. Sometimes it might be so cheap that it's going to almost be like having no insurance at all. So like with the with the replacement policy, you're going to want to make sure that you get one for the right amount of money. That way, if your house is 1,500 square feet, burns down, you can get another house built that's also 1,500 square feet, same material, similar setup on the inside, all that good stuff. So whenever you're going to buy your home, which is going to most likely be the biggest and most expensive asset that you make in your life, please, triple please, do not skimp on your insurance. Sit down with your agent, ask all the appropriate questions, and make sure that you have the right type of insurance for your home. Make sure you got the right type of protection for your home, the biggest asset in your life for most of you, myself included. Myself included. So don't be so eager to go cheap on your homeowner's insurance, because if you do, it might come back to bite you in your ass later. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I hope everybody got something out of this video, and I will see you guys on the next one.